Hello everyone, welcome to episode 1 of Public Speaking. I am instrucko Rashmi, and today we are going to connect with each other on a very beautiful topic that is on public speaking, of course. So I hope that you all are excited, and I'm equally excited to take you on board with me for this episode 1. So let's go and enjoy this class together. So I wanted to know that it's been a long time that we did not have any games on public speaking, but today we are going to inculcate lots of activities, right? So whenever we talk about public speaking, so okay, Raghuveer, can you tell me what is public speaking? Yes, so public speaking is nothing, but it means that when I am talking to you, or whether you are talking to me, if you're talking to a number of people, that is public speaking itself. So it doesn't mean that if you stand on the stage and that is when you have to become a good orator or you're a public speaker. No, it means that whenever you talk to someone, it is public speaking, right? Good answer. So, as we are talking about understanding your audience, so let's prepare ourselves to understand that how to get started with a speech. The most important and the basic rule of public speaking is to understand your audience, right? So, class, how many of you have stage fear? I can see most of the hands raising up. Yes. Me as a student, when I was in school, I was too scared of public speaking and going on the stage and giving a speech or maybe talking about something. But yes, I think that this is the best way to understand that how to give a speech, how to get started with speech. So understanding your audience. So whenever you take a speech, for example, if I want to talk about my family, now who can be your audience? Can anyone tell me? Yes, your audience can be your friends, isn't it? Your classmates. It can be even adults. It can be even old people. So family does not mean that only adults we are talking about, only the age group of old people we are talking about. No, audience can be mix up of all ages, right? So let's understand how. So if your audience can be of different kinds, like for example, when you watch TED Talk videos, right? You will see that there are a number of audience coming from different backgrounds, right? It is not only about kids. It's not only about adults. It's not only about old people. It can be an amalgamation of different audiences, right? Second point, we always talk to different groups of people in different manner, right? So you have to target your audience. You have to speak differently to different types of audience. You cannot speak the same way to everyone. Okay, let's take one activity now. Now, for example, Raghuveer and Ayansh. Okay, so Ayansh, how will you greet your friend? Raghuveer. Very good. You said, hi Raghuveer, how are you? Can you say the same thing to your teacher? Can you greet in the same way to your teacher? Not at all, right? So, how will you greet your teacher? Yes, you will use a very respectable term, that is, hello, teacher, hello, ma'am, right? How will you speak to your grandparents? Will you say, hi, grandfather, hi, grandmother? Of course, you can be friendly with your grandparents because they are known to you. But people who are not known to you, you have to be respectable with them. You have to be formal with them, right? So your audience are different. So when we speak in different ways to different group of people, that means we are trying to make minimum effort and achieve minimum and maximum result. Minimum effort, maximum result. Minimum effort, maximum result, right? Yes. So, yes, Ayansh, can you tell me that if I give you the topic, say, talk about your pet, so which audience will you target? Yes, you can target to all kind of audience, right? So it doesn't mean that you will only target kids, will you? No. So pets means anyone can have pet, right? Yes. So your target audience will be the mixed group of people. Now, how to address different audiences differently? Now, as I told you, that you will always talk to your friends in an informal tone, right? So, yes, Ayansh, can you tell me that how will you greet Raghuveer in the classroom? Yes, hi Raghuveer. That's an informal way. That's a friendly approach. But similarly, Raghuveer, how will you approach the principal and the audiences sitting in the audience, in the class, or maybe in the auditorium? Yes, respected sir, respected principal, respected ma'am, ladies and gentlemen. These are the various formal ways, right? So you understand your audience. Next is an audience who is slightly older than you, isn't it? So, as I told you just now, that you have to give respect, right? Respect is given to everyone, but the ways are different. Okay, the words are different. So, if you're greeting to your seniors, right? So, you may not be very friendly with them. You cannot say, hi, how are you, what's up, right? We cannot use slang words. So, there are ways to greet them, appreciate them, right? Now, okay, Raghuveer, can you tell me when you perform a very beautiful activity in your house, right? Like maybe you just help your parents in their work, or maybe you just do something which is exciting for them, and they are really proud of you, right? Right? So how will your parents appreciate you? Can you tell me? Yes. So your parents will say, well done, I'm proud of you. Good, good one, my boy. Keep it up, right? Yes. And Ayansh, how will your teacher greet? How will your teacher compliment you? Yes, she will say excellent approach. That's that is how you do it. Superb. I'm proud of you. Yes, you can see the difference, right? So the ways in your house is informal. The ways that is done outside your house are formal. Okay? With your parents, in their age group, you will use formal tone and formal language outside your house. Your tone will remain respectful, right? Though it is though it is not formal, it's informal with your family, right? But it is still respectful. Outside your house, you're meeting different people, still it is respectful. So audience can be your grandparents, audience can be your parents, audience can be your classmates, audience can be strangers. So you have to understand how to target your audience, right? So now, Ayansh, can you tell me that if you have to talk to your friends, what kind of topics will you use? Yes, you will talk about movies, games, TV, right? And so much more that excites you. Yes, Raghuveer, can you tell me that if you're talking to the college students, what kind of topics will you initiate? Yes, so it will be like events, cultural events, right? And it can also be about studies or languages, right? Well done. Okay, Ayansh, can you tell me how would you speak to your parents at home? Informal, formal, friendly, what kind of tone do you use? Friendly tone, right? Yes. And what about grandparents, Raghuveer? Yes, respectful yet informal, friendly tone, right? So as you can see that we can address different people with different perspectives, right? Okay, now how we understand that what should we write in the speech when we talk about our audience. Okay, so as you can see over here, that writing for your audience in same way that we have to speak to different audiences differently, we also have to write our speech differently for different audiences. Okay, so the purpose is what? To attract the attention of the audience, right? Minimum effort, maximum results, right? Now we have to understand the information. Information is the key to any speech. Okay, now Ayansh, can you tell me that if you have to talk about pets, how will you convince the um, parents? How will you convince your parents? What kind of tone will you use? Yes, it will be a friendly tone, isn't it? It will be a friendly tone, and you will, as you said, that you will use the words please, isn't it? It is respectful, yet you are using the word please. But if you have to talk to more senior people, that is your grandparents, to keep a pet, so the convincing skills will change, right? Raghuveer, can you tell me how will you approach them? Yes, so you will use lots of examples, right? You can say that, yes, I know that you haven't petted any kind of animals yet, right? Sorry, but still you will use the words like, we can help you, right? We will always watch out, right? That how you can keep the pets. We can also look out that there is that you don't have to go after them, we will help you out, isn't it? So this is how it goes, this is how it works. Writing for audience helps us to curate an information, right? So you have to understand the speech. The understanding of speech intellectually is important. If you're using convincing skills, there are three main things that you have to remember when it comes to speech, delivering a speech. The purpose of speech is what? There are only three purposes. One is to entertain, one is to inform, and the next one is to persuade. So if you use three purposes to inform your audience, you have to use lots of facts, you have to be relatable with them, you have to use credibility. Okay, so this is how you write for your audience. These are the three basic purposes. Now, how to write for your audience? I have already given you three things, isn't it? That three purposes. So if you want to give a speech, informative speech, it can be for your targeted audience. Your audience can be um, your classmates. It's an informative speech, right? It can be an informative speech. If you're giving information about maybe a brand, okay, it can be an information about a country, can be an information about some subject. It can be given to your classmates. Second thing is that if you are using a persuasive speech, so maybe to keep a pet at home, for those people who have never adopted any pet, right? So you can use the purpose of persuasion, that is convincing skill. And the third thing is entertaining. If you think that your parents, if it can be the mixed audience, if you think that the audience will enjoy entertaining speech, so you can make it humorous, you can add in your anecdotes, you can add in your own experiences in that. This is how it is captured. So credible sources are important. When you research, make sure you give credits to the author. Okay, you make sure you give credits to the writer who has written it, but you have to attach the sources from where you have taken the information. So credibility is important, you have to discipline it. Okay, second thing is that whenever um, we write something, you have to research the facts. Okay, facts are very important for people. So when you, for example, Ayansh, can you tell me that do you read news articles? Yes, you read news articles, right? So when you read news articles, do they blindly say that this has happened, this earthquake has happened in this place, and we got this news from this person? It's not bland, right? So have you seen the facts, the timing, the place, isn't it? The name of the journalist, the name of the eyewitnesses, the name of the magnitude of the earthquake, the number of people who were, victimized in this earthquake, right? So there are facts which you have to add in your writing. Okay, and also one more thing you have to use is that always you have to use fresh ideas. You cannot use those monotonous ideas. Same credible sources again and again, repetitively using. No, plagiarism should not be there. Okay, you have to use the sources, use it in your own words, but give the credits to the speaker or the author or the writer, whatever you call it. Okay, so credible sources are very, very, very important, and you can find it, if you don't know how to research. So I will send you, I will share some names of the books with you. You have library, you can go online, right? With the help of your parents. Okay. So Raghuveer, do you research on different aspects, right? Have you done a research project? Yes, you have done a research project. That's great. So what kind of project did you do? Okay, so you did for social science, and it was, yes, it was, you were helped by your parents to write it, right? So did you give credits when you were writing? Did you give credits? Where did you take the information from? Yes, that's the way. That's the way that you do it, right? Now, also when we get into these activities, okay, so on the same topic for two different audiences, okay, like teachers. Now let's take an example for Ayansh. Now Ayansh, what kind of topic do you think we can choose for teachers? Okay, yes, so you want to use an informative topic, right? Great. So let's add in some points, okay? So for example, your topic is that uh, should we grade the teachers in the school, right? It's a very debatable topic, right? And the teachers will be listening to you. And if this is a debatable topic, so what kind of points will you add? Should we grade the teachers in the school? Yes. So you think that we should not grade the teachers in the school. Why? Okay. So, okay. So you feel that, okay, yes. So teachers have a different rank, right, in the school, because you are the students, you are learning from them. But if you get a chance to grade the teacher. So on what aspects will you grade? Okay, the teaching style. Okay, the information that she uses. Okay, yes, the implementation that she creates in the class, impact, very good. Yes, so these are the points, right? And this is a very good topic, because this is a very debatable topic that you can talk with teachers. So your target audience is teachers, are teachers, right? So yes, so these are the points that you will try to put in the form of persuasion also and information also, right? Okay, now your next target audience, Raghuveer, is our students. So what topic will you take for students? Okay, so for students, you can use the topic that should uniforms be made mandatory in schools. Okay, so how will you target your audience that are students? What will you try to, how will you try to help them out with this topic? Okay, so you will create a debatable session also, and if it's only your speech, then yes, so you will try to give them more convincing points, right? So if it's a persuasive topic, so what will you say? Yes, that means there are, you will take a stand, right? If you want, if you think that uniforms should be compulsory in school because it creates unity, yes, and it gives an advantage, yes, it creates, yes, universal belongingness, it creates a belonging, a sense of belonging, you get a sense of belonging, right? Yes, and the fourth one is, yes, that means it also gives you a kind of an affirmation, yes, that you belong to this school. So you think that this will be a very good topic with students, right? And it will be very interactive as well. So I want you to prepare yourself with these type of topics, okay? That should be great teachers in school. This is for Ayansh. And Raghuveer, should uniforms be made compulsory in school? Very good. So I think that now you know the purpose is very much clear, right? That what kind of topics can be used for different types of audiences, right? Now, see, here is a game as well, that you must give an account of the history, story behind the thing, animal, person, or event. So you have, this type of game you will have to play with each other. You can do this at home, you can do this with your parents also. Okay, now you just take in consideration that you have to give an account of history for the story behind this animal, like how zebras got their stripes. So just imagine that this is your topic. It doesn't need to be factual, okay? That doesn't mean that you don't know anything about it and you just you're not prepared about it. It doesn't need to be factual. Just imagine it, just analyze it, just assume it and write it. Here, what is counted is imagination, right? Outrageous lies and fantasy. Do you know what fantasy is? Yes, you have to create this imagery in your mind. You have to create an imagination. How did they get their stripes? How did these zebras get into existence with these stripes? Right? So you can imagine and write about it. And I would like to read like what imagination comes in your mind. And the goal of this public speaking game is to sustain credible fluency, right? So we are going to play this game, but this can also be considered as you can do this at home, right? So you can take this as your homework, right? So now we can take this one in the class right now. Now you can see that there are three pictures. Okay, so the starter you choose must be used to open your story. Okay, like for example, if I choose it was a dark stormy night. Okay, now each one of you have to use at least one line in order to extend and build your story. And the goal of this public speaking is to create a credible fluency, right? So for example, um, if we start with stormy night, okay, so this is my story starter. Okay, so Ayansh, okay, I want you to give me at least the beginner. What will you, how will you extend this story? Yes, okay, let's start. So a dark and stormy night with wind, rain, and potentially lightning. Very good. Raghuveer, a child who is afraid of the storm, who is a brave character, who ventures out into the storm, or a magical creature. Very good. So, this is about the character. So, Ayan said he talked about the setting, he described it. You talked about the character, you described it. Very good. Then, a child overcoming their fear of the storm, a group of people sheltering from the storm, or a magical event taking place during the storm. This becomes your plot. Excellent. And then Okay, then they both face this challenge with courage, and then there was a magical power of the nature which sustained them from this, right? So did you see the power of storytelling? Yes. So when we talk about um, any particular uh, story starter, right? Like we took this one. The second one would be I wish people would not say, right? So if you use a story starter, it gives you imagination. Now, how Ayansh and Raghuveer, you both started coming up with different facts, right? You told me about setting, you came up with the character, you told plot, then you added some conflict in it, right? So when you add the elements, you started building a wild imagination, right? This is how it is considered to keep going on with the public speaking with creation of imagery. Okay, excellent. So you have to play this game with your friends, and this is how you will create a story. Okay, so what are the different elements of the story since we are doing it? Yes, what are the different elements of the story? Okay, so as you can see that I was able to show you a picture about um, the elements of the story, right? So there is character, setting, okay, then okay, so we have plot, conflict, rising action, falling action, and the conclusion. Well done. So this is how it is to be done. Okay, and I'm really happy that you were able to understand it. So this is your home assignment too. So I want you to write a speech on the following topic for two different audiences. One is the importance of keeping our environment clean. The topic is what? The importance of keeping our environment clean. But there are two different audiences. One is for your grandparents, and the other audiences are your friends. Okay, so you have to write a speech targeting the audience. You have to understand how will you give a speech to grandparents on environment, how you will convince them. This is a persuasive speech. You have to understand the importance of environment to keep it clean, right? And the second thing is that your friends, how will you convince your friend? Now there will be two different aspects. Okay, grandparents with respect and with polite language, you have to use it. With friends also polite but informal way, very friendly way. Okay, you have to write the speech. This is how you are going to work on this, right? So what did we learn today? Yes, we learned about the target audience and how we can convince them. So there are three purposes. What are they? Entertaining, yes. Second is persuasive, and the third one is information. Okay, these are the three purposes of giving a speech, and your target audience can be anyone. So how will you convince them? By using these purposes. Okay, so I have already given you the tip now, and the speech should be written with credibility. What you will do? You will use resources. Information is important, so you will do research, add the facts, add the statistics, add the hooks to keep connected, add relatable ideas, and use simple language for according to the audience. Okay, so when your audience are grandparents, you have to understand the tone. When your friends are the audience, you have to understand the tone, you have to understand the language, and you have to target it. All right, so that's it. So we are done with the class today, and I hope that you enjoyed it. Yes, okay, so I will see you in the next class in episode 2, and we will be doing a new lesson, a new topic, and we will also read out what you have written today. Okay, so thank you so much for joining. I'll see you in the next class. Bye bye.